What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Misfire. Today I'm going to be kind of doing a touchy subject, but first off, I like that sign. It's a good sign, and it's kind of a segue into what I'm going to be talking about today. Also, that's a really cool lamp. That lamp was like $30 and I can't. That's really cool. And I didn't have to build it, so that's plausible because I just can't use the battery, so I don't have to worry about IKEA stuff. Secondly, the apparel. We got new apparel up on our Etsy website, and on the back, this one you can't really see it. I'll show you guys later. This one is the Send It shirt, because I identify as male, because that's all I do is send it. Dad jokes aside, what we're actually going to get to in this episode, and what's really important to me, is the car industry as a whole. I think a lot of us, at least a lot of the viewers that will watch this, are very entrenched in the car community, and I don't think you'd want it to be anything else but grow and get better, as it has been the last 4 or 5 years. I think it's grown a lot since the onset of roadkill, street outlaws, stuff like that that's gone mainstream. I think it's made it a lot more popular. But things like NHRA, NASCAR, things like that, they not necessarily are as popular anymore. I mean, NHRA and NASCAR drivers used to be on Wheaties boxes. Not anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. No one really cares about Daytona or 24 Hours of Le Mans like they used to, like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I mean, that was kind of a big deal back in the day. Not so much anymore, at least for Americans. Those kind of races aren't as big of a deal. And especially with the onset of electric cars, I think car people need to be able to join together and actually have some semblance of a larger community and be able to expand that. So with that being said, that's kind of my keynote for this whole thing. That's kind of the main idea that I have. The problem I have with this is there's so many people out there, and I have 3 or 4 different examples I'll kind of run through stories after this, of people that put roadblocks in the way for that to succeed. What do I mean by that? So, for 3 examples, they're just going to be really quickly. One of them is, you probably know him on Instagram and YouTube, but Cam Racing, Kale, that kid is awesome, first off, but he's building I don't know exactly what year it is, but it's a Mopar Duster with a 5.3 LS in it. It was a slant 6 car originally, and he's doing a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. That's a really cool thing. I mean, he's doing pretty much all the work himself. I mean, his dad's helping. They're putting that car together. It's really cool to see that car grow the way he's been growing it the last 4 or 5 years, however long he's had it for. I think it's less than that, but anyway, that's not the point. The point is, he got banned from a Facebook group because he LS swapped a Mopar. It was a B body Mopar group, and he got banned from it, kicked out of it, because of what he was doing. They didn't agree with him. This is like a 17, 18-year-old kid that they did that with, and he's growing as, growing up around roadkill. He's growing up around all this stuff. I think it's perfectly fine for him to do that. There's plenty of guys that have Coyote swap Novas. I mean, there's a couple wagons that I love that have 5.0 Coyote motors on them. I mean, would I do that? No, but it's all in what someone wants to do. I think that's the key point I'm trying to make with all this. Another example is, there's a Facebook group that was a Cars and Coffee that my girlfriend Abby and I would go to, and that they had a Facebook group that was kind of linked with that, and we would go to that Cars and Coffee all the time. So then I kind of knew some people from it. We kind of met some people, and there's all those people were on that Facebook group. So then I would share some of these YouTube videos through links onto there. Well, I think it was twice I think I did that, and they flagged both of them and deleted both of them because of it was self-promotion. Personally, I don't think that's self-promotion at all. I think that by doing that, first off, you're showing other people what you're doing with your own car. It's not like I was going, come buy my t-shirts. I wasn't doing that. It was, come look at this video I just made because I really like it and you guys might like it because it's my car. You see this car all the time. I think you might enjoy it, and at least seeing what the cars can do at the racetrack. I think it was one of the burnout videos I did. It's just stuff like that. But they kicked them both out. So then we commented back to them asking about it, and she's like, well, I don't like self-promotion. Mind you, this is an older lady that has, I mean, I'm not going to throw in what kind of car she was driving or anything, but I mean, she doesn't do any of the work herself on her car. It was, you know, a 60s British kit car kind of a thing. And yet she would post things about dealerships or even people selling stuff. She would post on there, and it was obviously it was totally fine for her to do that. But for me to do it, it was wrong. That was a bad thing to do. So then I voiced my displeasure, and she basically kind of shined me on, and then I said, I'm out of here. Another one, very similar to that, there was a group, a 66 and 67 Nova group that I was a part of, and one of the moderators on that admin was arguing with a guy because that guy would always post comments. I guess he had a shop and stuff, and he'd post comments all the time about, you know, other people's stuff and what he was liking. He was like pretty active on the site, and he ended up voicing his displeasure because every kind of comment that he had, like adding his like ideas or thoughts onto something, like someone had a question about Church Boys Racing, he would talk about it. He might bring up his experience at TCI. I mean, nothing was negative that he would ever say, and so he was voicing that into the group, and the admin basically just shined him on, and then in a very rude and disparaging way, like I think he basically even name called him, which I don't personally agree with. So then I commented back basically saying that if I was an admin or anything like that, I wouldn't even allow this to happen because I wouldn't let it get to this point to where someone is so unhappy that they're gonna do that. And this isn't a freaking car page. I mean, it's an automotive car page for 66 and 7 Novas. First off, there's not that many people in this group. So why are you trying to dig holes into a group that you're trying to hopefully grow and nurture? I mean, so then I basically said that, and the guy basically said, well, you don't know really the whole story, and if you knew the whole story, then you would, you know, whatever. And he kind of laughed, and then he banned me from the group because of what I said. I said something different from what he wanted, so then clearly that was incorrect. So then I got banned with that guy too. Why, I don't know. But there's my three kind of general kind of points that I like to hold, at least on social media stuff. And then outside of social media, I mean, I think everyone on this has probably had this happen to them once or twice. But you go to a car show, you go to a Cars and Coffee, you go somewhere, and there's those old men that can walk around with their hands in their pockets or shoulders like this, and, you know, hands in their, I mean, they're just standing there. Not just look on their face, and it's hilarious watching these guys walk around. And there was a couple guys when they would walk over to my car, and mind you, you guys know what my car goes through. I mean, I beat the ever-living crap out of that car. I mean, it goes, last year especially, it was drag racing, you know, making almost 10 passes a week at that point. I was driving it 2 or 3 times a week. So, and going to car shows and stuff with it, because that's stuff that Abby was wanting to do with her car, so then I would take my car. So then, I mean, it was driving about 100 miles a week, probably, like last summer, plus racing all the time. So it's gonna get dirty. I mean, there's oil coming out the valve, leaking out of the valve covers a little bit, like not leaking, but seeping because they're aluminum. They're old aluminum and they're probably warped a little bit. I mean, the intake's all dirty. My electric fans are kind of dirty. The core support's a little brown because it works. I use the car a lot. So there's guys that walk up after I pop my hood just because I have fuel injection. It's kind of cool that Camel Hump has. We're at a car show. I'll pop the hood. And there's guys, you know, well, that's really dirty. You could have cleaned that. And I'm like, well, I was at the racetrack last night and whatever, you know, dude. And then you walk over to his car, and his car probably hasn't left the garage in probably like 2 months. Who has more fun with their car, me or you? I definitely have way more fun with my car than you. So, you can go do whatever you want to do. Go fly like a little birdie and enjoy your life. I'm going to enjoy my life with my car because I like to drive my car. You know, we like to have fun with our stuff. So, peace. And that's kind of where I'm getting at with this whole situation. Because the guy in the Nova group was a younger guy that kicked me out, but he was a know-it-all, you know, punk. The guys that were on that Cars and Coffee and that El Camino guy, that was the guy who was messing with me, and he had like a 396 El Camino. Kind of a cool car, but as soon as he says stuff like that, you're like, you know what, dude, you can go shove it. That guy, the Cars and Coffee people, and the A and B body guys from like Kale's instance, all older, angry, you know, purist. Your car shouldn't have to. You shouldn't do that to your car. It's too nice of a car. You should always have it cleaned and ready to go at a car show. And keep in mind, this wasn't like a Saturday car show. This was a Thursday night, like kind of cruise at like a burger joint. So it's not even like somewhere where you're trying to get an award. You're not trying to get anything. It's just to go over there and have a burger and hang out and go look at other people's cars and hang out. That's all. So it's not even like, you know, there's thousands of dollars in the line, or is that a good guy's car show? Because if it was, I would clean my car then. I cleaned my car for the ET Finals, and that's a drag race, but I cleaned the car because that's what you do. So with that in mind, that's just kind of what I think of that whole situation, kind of my details and examples of how, if I wasn't 23 years old, and I'll give an example for Abby, but if I wasn't 23 years old and I grew up in this whole environment, I don't know if I'd want to go back to a car show where guys are going to treat me like that. I don't know if I would go back to a social media group where people would treat me like that. It would be very easy for someone that didn't have the experiences that I did to want to do that kind of stuff. Case in point with Abby, my girlfriend, and her Camaro. I mean, she doesn't want to go back to that Cars and Coffee because those people are jerks. Why? How is that beneficial for anyone? I mean, there's a couple hundred cars that go out to that thing at sometimes. So I mean, why would you want to create an environment where people don't even want to go because of how you treat others? Why do you create an environment where old grumpy people make younger people that want to go have fun with their old stuff do that and not want to enjoy others? That's the kind of point I'm making. I mean, if I was an older gentleman at that point, I would want to try to create an environment for as many people as they want to come and enjoy their hot rods. And I don't care if it's a Miata, I don't care if it's, you know, your bicycle. If you like your stuff, you should go out and have fun with it. And if you have questions about it, then I'll, you know, give my advice and what you want to do with it. So that's kind of the point I'm making. I don't understand why there's that group of people out there that are so negative to the younger generation, because it's definitely detrimental to the car community as a whole, in my opinion. That's killing everything. And with the electric car, I mean, now more than ever, we don't need any more negative to kick people out, or like, this is not an exclusive club. I mean, anyone can join, you know. You don't need a 67 Nova to be in a 67 Nova group. I mean, you don't need a 74, you know, C10 to be in a C10 group. You don't need that. I mean, if you like those things, you should be able to be a part of this stuff. You don't need to spend 30 grand on something. So, I mean, 15-year-old kids should be allowed. 14-year-olds, you know, kids that play Forza and stuff. I mean, they should be allowed to go and hang out with, and like learn, like see actual cars. Go out and actually see these kind of things, and not be, oh, well, that's just a kid, I'm not going to talk to him, you know. It's not like he's one of my friends or anything. If you don't want to talk to people, I understand that. I mean, then don't just... But also understand that you're not helping anything by being that angry old person in the corner. So, how can we actually combat this? That's probably your question that you're having with this whole discussion that I'm having. Because the reality is, you're never going to change those old grumpy people. You're not going to change the know-it-all's head on, you know, well, I think it should be this way. So I'm not going to listen to anyone else that has an opinion, because my way's the right way. How do you fix that? The answer is you don't fix those people. My answer is you go to a spot where people enjoy other people's stuff and you legitimately have a good group of people together. There's always going to be those bad seeds and you can't do anything about them because that's who they are. So, I mean, they're just naturally angry and mean and like sad people. So we put those angry, sad people over there in the corner. Kick them out. Get rid of them. Don't take apart. Try not to take any points that they have. Try not to take anything disparaging that they say. Try to stand higher than that. And I know that's incredibly hard. Unless you want to have fun and just mess with them, then that's totally. Unless you can have fun with them, that's totally fine. Because I do that all the time. It's really fun. But what we need to be able to do is have an environment where you and I, you guys and me and all of our buddies can go hang out and have and talk and have these, at least even online, these environments to where you can show off your car, even if it's, a 76 Monza. I mean, those are still cool. I mean, you can do some stuff. I mean, Roadkill made a cool little Monza. I mean, there's still stuff that we can do that doesn't need to be, a 62 Impala with a 409 in it. I mean, it doesn't need to be some Detroit Speed frame off Camaro. I mean, it doesn't need to be these things. It just needs, just have fun. So, with that in mind, I've started a Facebook group and another Instagram page specifically for this purpose. They're called Car Guy Coalition. That's the kind of the mantra I'm going to have behind it. And it's going to be for everyone to come together and you can share pictures, you can share ideas, thoughts. I mean, is it a good idea to 2J swap, my Tesla? First off, you should do that because that would be hilarious. But, those kind of ideas, that's the whole point of that kind of thing. Are they kind of, stupid ideas? They might be kind of stupid, but it's also really fun to think about that kind of stuff because, what do you always joke about when you're in the shop at 2 in the morning? Well, let's put a blower on it. Is it actually realistic? No, it's not realistic at all. But it's something that you can do and you can talk about with friends and, and family and stuff. That's funny and people enjoy it. So, if you have those 3 a.m. thoughts of, well, I think we should do this. That's the kind of thing that I want to do. And everyone else will go, oh yeah, that's pretty funny. I thought we should do this. I think we should do this. That kind of thing. Kind of like an environment where like Cletus McFarlane, people like that. Those kind of guys make those environments. And they're fun, uplifting, and to where, anyone feels welcome. And that's the whole, that's the whole point behind this kind of stuff, is to have fun with it. You're supposed to have fun with these things. So, Car Guy Coalition is open to literally anyone. Anyone can join. I don't care if you have, a McLaren or a bicycle. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The whole point of it is to get Karens and Chads out of it. Excuse me. Get those kind of people out. They need to leave. It's public, so anyone can go look at it and check it out. So that way you're not having to go through, these private messaging, questionnaires. Well, are you actually a car guy? Do you actually do this? Do you actually do that? That's BS. I don't care about that. That doesn't matter. What you need to be able to do is, if you want to learn about fuel injection, you should be able to ask a question about it, and then there should be 3 or 4 people that can answer, and they go, well, I've done this and this and this, and they can add links to it. Well, links on a lot of these pages, they get kicked out because, well, you're promoting. No, I'm not promoting. I'm just showing this guy what this is. Or if you want to show off your YouTube channel because you just started the YouTube channel about your, 86, Civic, you can share it. Because, you know what? There might be a whole bunch of people on here that like 86 Civics. So, there you go. Or you might just be really funny and you want to show off your YouTube channel and your comedy act, you can do that too. That's just the whole point of this is for people to be able to show off their personalities and be able to actually cultivate that environment. I mean, that's the whole point of this that I'm trying to make, and I know I'm circling the bush a lot of times, but I'm just sick and tired of people being complete and total jack snipes. I mean, I'm just tired of that. I'm tired of that negativity that seems to be out there everywhere. I mean, everywhere it's out there, it seems like. So, excuse me. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make, and I want to be able to have that opportunity to kind of showcase that to you guys. So go check out, I'll have the links in the bio of this, in this YouTube video, excuse me. But I'll have the links to both the Instagram page and that Facebook group if you want to check them out. The Instagram page will be for if you want to DM me pictures of your ride, your car, whatever you want. Just not yourself, please. But just send me pictures of your car. I mean, I think I've done 3 or 4 of them already. And I'll post them on there. I'll post up to 2 or 3 a day on there just to show off you guys' cars. I'll tag you in it. I'll tag a couple other pages and stuff that seem relevant to your car. And then on the Car Guy Coalition page, that's where you can ask questions. You can post your own car. You can post, you know, I'm doing this to it. Oh, guess what? Hey guys, I'm doing this. It's like an Instagram post, but for, you know, this group, and then people can comment and see it and look at it and have some fun. So, and then that's also where you might be able to go, for like me, wise, I can go, hey, I'm going to this car show. Is anyone around here that wants to go to it? I'm going here. Or if someone out here goes, there's this drag race over, you know, in Illinois or Indiana that I'm going to. Is there anyone else in Indiana or Illinois that wants to go out to this race? And stuff like that we'll be able to showcase for you guys. So, I mean, that's the whole, there's going to be questions, there's, you know, discussion pages, you know, all that stuff that I'm going to try to create for that. And I've never created a Facebook group, so if it's a little rough at first, bear with me. But I'm going to be one of the admin, and there's going to be a couple other people that I'm going to make admin for it. But yeah, so it's just going to be fun. Very light and not, I mean, we're not going to get technical on a lot of things unless you guys really want to be on that page. It's going to be pretty much up to you guys, whatever you want to make it. I'm just going to be here to kind of police and make sure no Karens get in and upset people, because then they get, so. Okay, my rant's over. I'm done with that. I'm happy I got that off my chest. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Be sure to check those out and subscribe to this channel, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers hopefully by the end of this year. That's the whole goal of this, is trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year, and then 10,000 subscribers hopefully this, I want to say this month, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So probably in March or April, get 10,000 followers on Instagram, because that would be sick. I've been trying, that's kind of been my whole goal for this page, is 10,000 the last couple of years, and I'm stoked that it's getting that close. So be sure to check out that. There's going to be an update for the Nova here very soon, and I'm going to get that together. There's like 3 or 4 other things I'm doing too with other cars, so it's going to be really fun the next couple months. Very stressful for me, and but very fun. So, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out the next one. Till then, I'll see you guys later. Peace.